All right, looks like it works now. So I don't know what the heck is wrong with this thing. We seem to be challenged by the technology in YouTube here, but anyways, now we got the board coming up. I'm sorry, I've screwed this up a bunch of times, but it doesn't work on the one computer because we're on the wrong browser. And then you switch over to this computer, then the freaking chat thing doesn't work, and it's one thing after another. I'm sure it's me, it's just stupid or something, I don't know, but anyhow, so got it working now. We haven't done a live chat for a little while, so we figured we would just, it's all working. So I don't think I'm really that stupid or whatever, but I don't know. They make these things more complicated than they need to be. Hope you guys are all enjoying your summer vacation or whatever you're doing this summer. Been hotter than hell here. It's been kind of difficult to explore in mines. So they got a lot of the bush shut down, and of course the border of the states is still shut down. I don't know why. I mean, Americans be able to come up here in August, but I know the states hasn't opened the border for us to go down there. So I know we'd like to get down to Cerro Gordo and go down there and visit Brent and go see Jeff down there. And but anyways, we're still waiting for the border to open up. They got us shut down for the time being. So I really hope you guys enjoyed our 16-part series of the Mega Monster Mine. So it was kind of the biggest and coolest mines that we've ever been down. Oh, I'm never happy when I'm doing anything on a computer. But, beer makes you happier, right? So it's really annoying because I know we got a really shitty camera on this old computer. It's got Windows 8 on it. It's got a built-in camera. There's nothing to do about the sound. If the sound's not good, the video's not good, we can't do nothing with it. So we got the GoPro set up on the other computer that has Windows 10 on it. But I don't know, the damn thing won't work on here, so for whatever reason. You have a question, that's what we're here for, answering questions. Give us your question there, Midnight Gaming. Hello, Arizona. It must be freaking hot there. I mean, it was hot here, though. I mean, it's almost as hot as it normally is in Arizona. We set records for the hottest temperatures ever in Canada, 46, if that means anything to you, or something like that. Question. Let's hear your question. You said that twice. You have a question. Put your hand up. Ask the question. It's beer o'clock here in Wales, too. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning there, wouldn't it? It's almost bedtime in Wales. Are all the mines up there wet? No, not all of them, but most mines here that there's a big ore body, and then they drain. Then they have a big main haul level going underneath the ore at about 3% grade, and then so then the ore comes down. So in the mountains and stuff, the water runs down where they have the chutes and stuff like that. And then it kind of drains out. But the problem is if you get a bunch of plugs in there, then it makes a dam, right? So is the border open up yet? It's going to open. Americans come to Canada on the 9th of August, but we're not allowed to go to the States yet. So we could fly down there, but that doesn't do any good if you're exploring mines, right? So how are you going to get around and all that? What's the deepest you've gone in a mine? We're down 1,500 feet was the deepest. The Remac goes down 3,000 feet. The bottom 1,500 feet goes under the river, and it's flooded. So, all right. Well, resist the fake Biden and the vaccine. What a bunch of bullshit. But whatever. I mean, 600,000 people in the States have died. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't get the vaccine. It's free. Whatever. If you guys don't want, maybe you should learn a little bit more about history or something. When the Spanish flu come out the last time, about 120 years ago, there was over 50 million people worldwide died because there was no vaccine. So I don't know. As soon as the vaccine became available, we took it. So and the people in Canada that got a vaccine, they're not the ones that are sick and dying in the hospital. So I don't see what the problem with the vaccine is. But I'm not going to get into politics. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. I don't care. Will we see your mine on the channel? We will. We're having a little bit of a problem. What it was is there was 100 acres that had this mine on it. They split it into 3 lots, and then they had to drill a well on each lot before they get the final subdivision done. Now they found some arsenic in one of the wells, so now they got to figure out a way to treat that. So like we made the deal and all that, and we got our stuff on there, but we haven't got a subdivided. We don't have the title to it, so we don't want to get all excited about doing a bunch of work on it until we actually own it. So, but hopefully it'll happen, right? So, do you ever get tired of playing all that water? Actually, the water's not too much of a problem. Like, especially on a hot day, you go wading through there. What's a little bit of water? It's probably easier than some of the mines down south where it's really dusty. The dust is just brutal on your lungs. And it's hot in there. You're just pouring sweat. So most of the mines here, if it's wet, it's not bad. It's fairly cool in there, and you don't have the dust and stuff. So I don't know. It looks kind of nasty, but it's not too big of a deal. So what's the weirdest, most valuable, and ordinary things you found in old mines? Well, I guess those jeans we found, I don't know, 7 or 8 pair of jeans that were probably worth, I don't know, maybe $500,000 for all of them or whatever. We didn't get to keep them. So, but that was, that was one of the most exciting things we found. Seems like Sharon liked today's mine better than the mega mine. The mega mine is tough on you psychologically. Like you're a long ways underground, and you always, she's not maybe as good as directions. I mean, I have a pretty good idea where I am, and I still get lost down there. And her sense of direction, and most people, they don't know where they are underground. So it's tough on your mind. So it's a bit of a mental thing, right? Do you know what that noise was in the one cave that made you leave? Yeah, I don't know. We've done like we've done so many videos of mines that sometimes I have hard time remembering. What do you need to do to watch out for false floors? Well, yeah, you need to make sure you don't fall through them. Yeah, and it's kind of taking a kind of a risk. Lots of times you think a floor is pretty good, and then you're underneath at a different level, and you look up and you realize where you were standing on what you thought was, good solid dirt, wasn't. And we have had them kind of fall away on us sometimes. So I don't know. I guess when your time's up, your time's up. I don't know what to say about it. No, it's not the audio. This computer it's an old computer with Windows 8 in it, so it has the camera and the mic is built into it, so it's old. So old and creaky like me, I guess. So yeah, it'll have good audio. I don't know why with that freaking new thing with the Windows 10 on it and the Garmin camera, we got a good picture, good audio, and everything. We can't get it to work, so we've had it work before. So we just drink the same beer all the time. I don't know. It's this stuff here, you don't see that in the States. All right. I used to do freehand rock climbing. It was a hell of a rush. Yeah, so a lot of people, they give us a lot of advice and stuff, and it's because they've done some rock climbing. It's completely different than climbing in mines. The thing with mines, you got all this loose stuff when you're going down shafts or whatever. So the big hazard is your rope, setting something loose coming down a shaft, whether it be some rock or a timber or something like that. So the big hazard is always something falling on you. So it, you're worried about falling or the rope breaking or something, but it doesn't work, right? So yeah, there's nothing I can do about the audio video. Well, we have another computer that's got a GoPro camera and a mic and all that, but they're too stupid to figure out how to work it. So yeah, it's actually complicated with I don't know. I mean, I don't like computers anyway, but all I do is my YouTube stuff on it. These browsers, you don't have the right browser or the right setting and this and that. You can spend your whole life sitting around there screwing out computers. I'd rather be doing other things. I really don't like them. Yeah. Sketch a picture of the mega mine now live. Yeah, that's a different language that we're talking. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's a texting language. See, another thing is I don't text either. Because I can talk 100 times faster than I can text. So people are always trying to send me a text, but I never text anyone. Just a cranky old man, eh? Yeah. So we're done with that with the mega mine for now. And yeah, we got it's hot here in Grand Forks now. We haven't got any rain all year. We didn't get much snow. We only got 2 crops of hay this year. It's been up over 115 or something. It's been hot all summer, no rain. So Usually, like in the morning, we go out and do some work outside, and then it's just enjoy air conditioning. During the afternoon, it's nasty out there. Uh, a section view of the working you went through. Um, Again, I don't know what you want or what you're talking about. Any interest in climbing old European mines? We can't even get out of Canada right now with all these restrictions and stuff. You know, it's very difficult and expensive to start going to different places. It's not bad in the States because you can take your camper down there, stand that, and you got all your equipment and all that. You know, to go to America, we just can't, or we can't afford to go to Europe to go explore mines. You know, the accommodations, the travel, and all that's just too expensive. Um, and to find any place to go to, I mean, it's really complicated. You know, people send you an email and say, oh, they live in this town or that town. There's all these cool mines. You get there and you don't know where anything is, and you know, you just waste a lot of time. It's very difficult. The mega mine. You think you'll ever find another exit? No, I probably don't think so. Um, South Africa. No, I don't imagine I would ever go to Africa. I mean, the only way you'd probably ever see me out of North America is if, you know, we get picked up by a TV channel or history or something they want to pay for our travel and accommodations, and that'd be the only way you'd probably ever see us out of North America. Unless we'd kind of like to go to the catacombs in Paris, and we'd probably do that, but we can't even find anyone to take us down there, so. What's the scariest mine you've visited? Well, probably the one in Weimar there. What the hell is it called? The Dundee, I guess, or whatever. But it's just because we're going down a really steep shaft and there's a lot of loose stuff, and you know, we got big rocks falling on you and stuff like that. And it's probably just kind of poor judgment that we shouldn't have went down there. So yeah, so that's the answer to that. It's not the mine scary. It's you're looking at it, and sometimes you maybe go places where you shouldn't. Especially with ropes, you got to be careful about the ropes dislodging stuff and falling on you. Kind of it's kind of dangerous. I'm talking about the noise that sounded like it was coming on an intercom. Again, I have no idea what you're talking about. Any more real letters, or is that the one and only? Letters? What? It was 109 in southern Oregon yesterday. Should come to the UK. Plenty of abandoned mines to explore. We were just actually, a guy phoned me up and he had a real cool mine on his property he wanted me to explore. And then we went around there. We couldn't even find where the mine was. So yeah, lots of times there's rumors about these different things. They're very hard to nail down. So someone says, well, come to the UK, there's lots of mines there. You go there and you're probably going to have a difficult time finding anything unless you have someone that actually knows a lot about exploring mines, has been into some, and that could take you into them. If you ever really got lost in a mine, well, we were in the mega mine, but it's kind of a strange mine because it goes around in circles, so you just end up going back in there and you're not sure which way to get out. So I don't know if that's lost. I mean, you don't know what direction to go to. I don't think it's maybe as alarming as you would think it is, but it's kind of a mental thing. It is frustrating. So he's on the one about the other Frank and the Horton mine. Yeah, well, there's another YouTube channel called Exploring Abandoned Mines in Unusual Places, and he made a bunch of phony videos about ghosts and a bunch of other stuff, which got a bunch of views, but nobody watches this channel anymore. So I think he kind of got maybe what he deserved. Looking for bodies 500. I near had a heart attack when the guy started sprinting Gabe. Yeah, well, we were down in Mexico there with Gabe there, and we went into a bunch of those Mexican mines, so that was a lot of fun. Lots of mines in Washington State. Yeah, but again, you know, so Washington's half a mile from here. We can't go across there. So the Horton mine, no, yeah, I've never been to the Horton mine. And it's another mine explorer that does a bunch of phony stuff about ghosts. It's not me. Yeah, hello from Italy. Hi, Drake. I really dig that old paper you found with info from West Texas. It was wild that it made its way to a mine in Canada. Well, miners back then, there wasn't really much of a border, so investors and miners, they traveled back and forth. They called them tramp miners. Wherever the wages were good, they would go there. And if they got pissed off, the ore ran out, and they're paying more money somewhere else, they moved to the next town. So it was a pretty cool lifestyle. Hope we see another high elevation mine video again. Yeah, next week. So we were up in the Slocan area. We entered some high elevation mines. I think the highest is around 8,000 feet. So you'll see a bunch from the Ottawa, the Arlington, and what's the other one? I can't remember. But you'll see some more high elevation mines in there. There's lots of forest fires up there. It was really interesting. The one mine we were into there, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. It was all full of smoke, which was weird. There was a fair bit of smoke outside, but there was even more smoke inside the mine. It was kind of weird. You wouldn't have expected that. So, yeah, those are high elevation mines, and we had trouble with oxygen up there. So there's two things. So, as you go into higher elevations, the percentage of oxygen is the same, but there's actually less oxygen, if that makes any sense, because when you're at lower elevations at sea, the air is kind of compressed, right? So the percentage of oxygen is the same, but there's actually a lot less oxygen in the air. So as you get higher up elevations, it spreads out. So if you're going to the top of Everest, for instance, you have to take extra oxygen. The percentage of oxygen is still 19.5% or so up there, but there's way less oxygen because it's less compressed. So it's kind of interesting. So, are you still going to Cerro Gordo? Yes, we are. But again, the border's been locked down for almost 2 years now. So they don't let anyone from the States into Canada. Tourists, or the border's closed. So Americans that can come up to Canada starting on the 9th of August. The Americans haven't opened the border for us yet, so we don't know when. And actually, the trouble is that you guys are having more and more trouble with the virus down there. So that seems to maybe getting worse and worse. I don't know if the border is going to open anytime in the near future. In Canada, a lot more people are vaccinated, and we're not having too much trouble with that. But it's still going up, but it's only people that haven't been vaccinated that are catching it, right? So, we're not going to talk about that too much. It's a kind of we got vaccinated as soon as we could. Why not? What the hell, is free. It's a little prick in the arm. Who cares? Maybe it'll save your life and allow you to travel and do all kinds of cool stuff. Maybe I'm too tough to die from COVID and it's fake or whatever, but I could easily give it to someone else and have them die. I don't need that on my conscience. So, I don't know. Why not do your part and get a shot? What's the big deal? So, if you think the government's trying to control you, they're trying to control it in a lot more ways than that. They're kind of trying to control all your money and all the financial stuff, and that'd be more worried about that than the flu. All right, so too much talking politics, I'm sure. They want to give you a booster every 6 months, then possibly, I don't know. They're not going to do that in Canada. They've been doing it in Israel and stuff, but the problem is, there's some people that got all kinds of medical problems, and the vaccine is not effective for them, so they try to give them more another shot, I guess, or whatever. But the vaccine does not help you from getting or spreading it. It's only for your own immune system. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, what are you up to without your wingman? Sharon went and she spent a couple of days visiting her mom and her kids in Golden. So, and that's the first time we've been apart for last year and a half or so. But I'm behaving myself, darling. I love you. I love you too. My turn yet. It is. Go Slim. What's your question? Interesting facts. How's the new flatbed truck going for you? Oh, I'm really happy with it. So we got the Dodge 5500 because we got a bigger side-by-side, and like I say, we want to do more traveling and stuff. I've been really happy with it. Had a little problem with the alignment was out and it was wearing the front tires, so we went to the dealer and had the alignment set back up. So we're happy with it. Yeah, it's a pretty cool truck. So we really like it. We only paid about 70,000 Canadian for that truck. It was a 5,500, and then we put the deck on it, which I think is a hell of a deal. I mean, they're charging that because people are paying more than that for a half ton, which, you know, to me is like just like a station wagon with a pickup box on it. But can I go on an exploration with you and Sharon? So the problem that we have is should be a personal choice. You want to get vaccinated? Not absolutely, it is. I mean, and it's the same with you got the choice if you want to sit at home and play Russian roulette or not. There's no law against that. I mean, what laws are saying they have to get vaccinated? Love the coffee cup and the shirt. I wish I had a travel mug so I could take it to work. So I guess you bought some of our merch. So yeah, Sharon handles all that. So we have fun with that. So yeah. All right. So you're very lucky to have that sweet woman follow you around. Yeah, she is a special woman, and I am lucky to have her in my life. She's the most hardworking woman that I've ever met. I mean, she never sits still for 2 seconds. She makes me look looking lazy. Any mines on the BC Washington border? There is actually. There's some mines that have adits on the one side and they're mining on the other side, so it's right in there. Yeah. They have you brainwashed if you think you have to get the vaccine. No, you don't have the vaccine. You don't have to get it. You don't have to smoke. You don't have to quit smoking either. You can keep smoking. You know, it's up to you. Whatever happened to the powered parachute? It seemed like it'd be pretty easy to crash. I did crash it, so we finally got it flying right after 2 years of screwing around, and we had the road tax and did some work on the engine. It was going good, and was pretty excited to test it out. And it was a real hot day, and Sharon had come with me, and then we come back, we landed at the airport, and it was just really hot, and we had a big wind that come up. It slammed it sideways, the chute come ahead of me, and we tipped it over, rolled it over on the runway. So I'm kind of fed up with it. I'm trying to sell it. I think maybe I should just quit flying. Yeah, huge fan, man. The stuff that you post is crazy. Oh, guys, quit talking about COVID. It's like politics or religion. There's no winners in it. If you want to get the shot, get the shot. Not whatever. Have you ever seen a Sasquatch? No, I'm the closest thing to a Sasquatch I've ever seen. Are you ever planning on doing any additional exploration with Glide Coolness? I talked to him the other day. He's having trouble with his health there. So he had cancer like a long time ago. But he also has, some medical issues. So he's got a little bit of trouble with his blood pressure. So he's having to go to a doctor and see if he can kind of figure that out. Yeah, maybe someday. I mean, he's down in Nevada. There's lots of mines that they don't go into, they can't get into. And he's always inviting me to go down there and do some stuff with him. So we may do that. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like hanging out with him. And he's done pretty good with his channel. Any explorable mines by radium? Not that I know of. It's a fair bit out of our area here, so it's possible. Did you heard about Gly's health problems? So, yeah, like I said, we had a chat with him. I've seen his videos also. His blood pressure is high, so he's going to go talk to his doctors about that. How often do you have to replace your ropes, ascenders, etc.? We've still got the same ascenders that we started out with. One of our belay devices quit and had to buy another one. The spring screwed up on it. The ropes, you just kind of have to keep an eye on them. A lot of people say, well, you should put protectors on your ropes, but you're going down and there's rock in a whole bunch of different places. You kind of have to watch where you put it. You don't want to put it on anywhere sharp. But the problem is it's just filthy down there. You got all the material and stuff in there. So over time, they just get a little frayed. Basically, what's getting frayed is the outside, which is the kerr mantle, is only about 15% of the strength of the actual rope. The inside's got about, I don't know, it depends on the size of the rope. It's got a bunch of big cords, like parachute cords. But once the kerr mantle starts getting worn, it doesn't slide through the equipment so much, and sometimes if it's in the middle, we maybe cut it, make two shorter ropes out of it. Basically, you just kind of keep an eye on the rope, and you know, it starts getting worn and stuff. You just replace it by another rope. So yeah. Any genuine scary incidents that you couldn't explain? No, you know, I'm not any kind of a conspiracy or a ghost guy or anything like that. And you know, people that see stuff in mines, all that, it's kind of like you know, kids that hear monsters in their closet and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's no. I just don't believe in that kind of stuff, so I don't see it. So, um, Frank, congratulations of 5 years of videos. My first video was the Mac Mainline series. Oh, no, thank you. We enjoyed it too. So, uh, peace out's got to go. Who's peace out? Frank, does the new museum have a ton of inspections, permits, and insurance stuff? No. The reason is because we don't have the mineral rights to it. We just have the property. So if you actually have the mineral rights and all that, then you got to deal with permits and all that kind of stuff. If you're never planning on removing any minerals, then you just have a piece of property with a hole in the ground, and they really can't you know, do anything. What do you think of YouTubers attempting to reopen old mines on tight budgets? There's just no money in anyone mining anything on a small scale. You know, people can make videos out of it and fantasize about it. It's just not the way mining is done these days. You know, these days with the permitting and the mills and the way it works, the only way you can have a profitable mine is if you have a very large operation. Just mom and pop mines are gone. So um, any of these companies, whether it be junior mining companies or whatever, the only way they'd ever make any money is if they did find something substantial and sold it to a large company that made a big thing out of it. You know, you just can't do it otherwise. Does Sharon respond to fan letters on your behalf, or do you write them yourself? Well, we don't write letters, but um, I think you mean the comments and stuff on the videos. No, she doesn't write any of them. I'm the author. I hear static. It's just an old computer with a worn out mic and a fuzzy camera. So, you ever found any valuable ore in caves? Well, we don't go into caves, but in mines, you mean, I guess. Um, we found some galena and stuff like that. It, you know, has some value. It looks cool in the museum. People can hold it and they can explain about it. So yeah, Franklin has a 4-hour head start on me. Well, you can start drinking anytime. Um, we'll visit you too after the pandemic is over. I love your channel and the no nonsense exploring. Sharon, here's a diamond. Lucky man. Thank you, and I agree with you. So, I don't know if that. I wonder about this pandemic is ever really going to be over. I don't know, but I hope that is extra old stock. I hope so too. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mailed you a real letter about a year ago. That's true. We have occasionally got some letters, and some of them with a check even. My favorite kind to open. Yeah, we do occasionally get letters. And I think I may have even wrote a letter. Wipe the camera lens with your thumb and shirt. It will not do any good, but I will do it anyhow. See, look. There, is that any clearer? No. Love what you're doing. Love the videos. I don't look all that good anyways. If I was sharp, you think, oh, there's a ugly mofo. Yeah, you can hear me and kind of see me, I guess. I can show you my shirt. Yeah. Yeah, so the other thing is, like, you know, these channels and stuff, I guess, they haven't been around that long. You know, YouTube has only been around for about 15 years, but it seems like they kind of come and go. You know, there's other, maybe more popular channels come up. So, you know, like, I don't know, last year, the year before, we had a lot more people watch our stuff, and we were, you know, getting some pretty good revenue off it to allow us to travel and stuff. Now it's kind of slowed down. I guess there's more channels and people get bored of watching the same thing over and over again. But I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, we used to spend a lot of time making, trying to dream up real sexy titles and stuff like that. Now we just call it, video 1 or 2 or 5, whatever. I don't really care if people watch it or not, whatever. We enjoy doing what we're doing. Like editing the video, and we like exploring mines. So, but probably over time, we're probably gonna just spend more time on our own mine and rebuilding it. And what we're planning on doing is we got this mine. We're going to put all our artifacts and stuff in display. We have a sawmill, so we're going to build a tram and ore bin, and we've got lots of equipment and stuff that operates locomotives and drills and all that kind of stuff, chainsaws. So we're just going to kind of build that all up and kind of transition to explain to people what mines are like and the artifacts and restoring them. And we're still going to explore some mines. We like to do some traveling, but we really don't give a rat's ass about YouTube anymore. It's sort of, it kind of stresses you out. You're trying to keep up with it, but I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter to me really all that much. So, people that are still hanging around and watch us, and you guys are here, we appreciate and all that. And if you guys are interested, we like talking to people, and we love having people come by and talking about mining and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you get kind of on a treadmill there on the channel, and you're getting more views and this and that, get excited about that, and then it goes down, and then you get depressed about it and that, but after all, I just don't give a shit, so kind of at that point, I suppose. All right, so mines only make money when you can process a lot of ore. Some mines only produce gold or silver. Do you have any air-operated chainsaws? Yeah, I have 2 of them. So we got one in the mine that's actually operating, so it's hooked up to the compressor, and when people come to the mine, we show it to them. I'd pay a $25 admission to tour your museum and mine. So we don't even charge any admission to our museum. People come here, but we take donations, and typically they give us $20 or so for that. So that's fine. I don't want to make it so that people that are interested in this kind of stuff, they don't come because they can't afford it. So I kind of let, if they want to, pay a donation, then that's fine. If not, that's okay too. So, I don't watch a lot of, do you ever watch YouTube channel? I don't watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. I'm really not that interested in computers. I try to spend as little time as I can on them. I don't know. There's more interesting things than. I don't know, we just do a lot of the cool stuff. So. I'm sure if you let the views take over your mindset, it's not a happy place. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's kind of nice to see some, the money come, having, you get more views, you get more money, right? So, when you have the money coming in, and then, you're buying more stuff, and you think you can do better, and it's kind of exciting. And then when you see that, drop down to a quarter of what it was, you think, I don't know, why am I doing this? But, really, so, the answer is I'm not doing it for the money, I guess, or the views. It's because I enjoy doing it, I suppose, So, frankly, I don't need the money to do this, but, it's like that. You'd think, if you've got a lot of views and stuff, people are interested in what you're doing, it seems like worthwhile. And if it's not the case, and the thing is, though, probably, so we produce a new video every week, and we still have 10 to 20,000 people that watch the new videos every week, and it's a core of people that enjoy what we're doing. But we don't get people watching the stuff that we produced years ago because, I guess our hardcore fans have seen it. So it all depends on what YouTube recommends is what it really is, because if your channel's popular, YouTube recommends your content. A whole bunch of people haven't seen it, so you get a bunch of people see it, but that's kind of how it works. So, but there's other channels come along like, with Brent and Sarah Gordon and other channels, and they're just more popular. So YouTube recommends that content rather than mine. So, less people watch your stuff. That's just the way it works. Do you ever get excited about going into a mine you've never been in before? I do, especially if we're doing rope work into it. and you're going down into it, and it's pretty exciting. So that's kind of what keeps us doing what we're doing. People will watch you hundreds of years from now. I'm not really sure if that's true. Some of the mines, I guess, if we can try to put as much information about the name of the mine, possibly, because people will be wondering about a mine they can't get into anymore. So it'll be a resource or something where they can go into a particular mine. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing now, exploring abandoned mines, that would be a lot better, do a better job filming it and editing it and producing it and stuff. So, we're sort of the first people that do it, but I was certainly, a lot of other people are coming along that are doing a pretty good job, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that come along after me that'll do a far better job of exploring the mines and editing them, documenting them, just making better videos. I'm sure of that. So. But in the meantime, a lot of the stuff is being closed and collapsed, and so the opportunity for making these videos, the window is getting narrower. Though, although there'll always be lots of places you can get into, I think, I'm sure. What's the longest time you ever spent underground? Probably about like 8 or 9 hours, something like that. So I still haven't seen all your videos. Well, I think got like 260 of them or something. So. I haven't. I haven't went back and seen them all either. You produce them and you just kind of forget about them. You don't see them again. So, I think you're the best YouTuber that does mine exploration. See, all the others are too scared to go into places. I think that's probably true. That I get into places that other YouTubers don't. But I don't do the best job at maybe editing and filming it. Some people do a better job with that. So it kind of depends on what you're really doing. Is it inconvenient for you to use U.S. cash that people send to you? No, it's not inconvenient at all. I mean, we go down the States, all that. It's all about the same. So it's. I don't think anyone else. It would be more inconvenient if I sent you Canadian money, I'm sure. Edit those damn barking spiders. I know Sharon thanks you each and every week, keeping her in such great shape. I say this because she's MIA today. I don't know if I keep her in great shape. I mean, she's more active than I am. I mean, she's always out riding her bicycle, or she makes me look sad. That's the thing about having a younger woman around there. She keeps you on your toes. Evans Creek, what's your other fave channels on mine exploration? One thing that it was kind of interesting when Sharon and I were coming back from Nelson the other day, and I had a guy stop me on the highway who knew who I was, and 2 other people stopped me when we were walking like to the liquor store and somewhere else, and Sharon's just shaking her head. She says, "Oh, all this fame and fortune is just going to your head." But that's only around here. I mean, I've never been anywhere in the States where someone says, "Oh, why are you seeing your YouTube channel?" Right? So, yeah. So what we're really trying to do is to document the mines that are here, make it less about me. I mean, I'm not that interesting of a person, just a regular person. So I think that's maybe some of the mistake about maybe some of the other people that have channels and stuff there. It's like nobody gives a rat's ass about me, but I can show you some cool stuff. So I mean, just a regular person, nothing special about me or anybody else on YouTube making mines about the mines. The reason people watch it is because they're interested in the mine, not the person that's holding the camera. So. Frank, when are we going to get a look at the new property? Pretty quick, eh? So, yeah. So we got lots of cool stuff to show you. So we've got a really cool bandsaw mill that we're cutting all the mine timbers up. It is a, I don't know what the hell kind of mill is it now. It's a pretty fancy bandsaw mill. For life of me, I can't remember what it's called. So we've been sawing up 20-foot 8x8 timbers and stuff to do all the mine stuff. And then we bought an excavator, a 300 cat, EL 300. So we got a big hole, a cat, and a military truck, a 6x6 military truck, dump truck, to move the rocks and stuff around. And yeah, just lots of cool stuff we're going to do to get all this equipment up there, and so our goal is to try to get as much operating mine equipment in there to show people how this stuff works. This one thing, when you go to some place where they got a bunch of rusty equipment around there and it's all sitting around, that's one thing. But if you go somewhere where all this stuff is operating, it's freaking loud and noisy and just aggressive. You can't help but being impressed how this stuff worked back then, and that's really impressive. So we love to show that to people, and it just makes their eyes open up. We just love it when kids come to our museum, and they just love this stuff. So it's loud, and noisy, and aggressive, and it's pretty cool. So, yeah, when you have cool minds and an interesting host guide, you have a win. Yeah. Yeah, you can't make it too much about you and more about the mine. That's what I think, anyhow. I think people would probably be interested in your just a day-to-day stuff as well, like the work on your own mine. Yeah, maybe to some extent. Are you doing hay this year? Yeah, we cut 2 crops already this year, but it's just been such a nasty year because it's been so hot, and the water has dropped way down the river, lowest I've ever seen. So our irrigation doesn't work anymore. So, and the other thing is they're building a pipeline right through the middle of my field. So I had 2 pipelines on to put in a new. I don't know, it's about 16-inch pipeline, natural gas pipeline through the middle of my field. So they got a bunch of my field tore up. So that's making it a little difficult to grow hay on that part of it. Nice beard. Oh, thanks. When I was working up in the oil patch there, so I had to shave my beard all the time, so you put a mask on or whatever. So my philosophy is if I don't get paid, I'm not shaving. So I haven't got paid from the oil patch for a long time. So there you go. Case brand hay baler. Yeah, I don't like it. I think they're a piece of shit actually. But the New Hollands are way better. I love my New Holland. I had a 780 New Holland auto wrap. That was a really good baler. Do they have to pay for ripping your field up? You bet your ass, they're paying lots. Yeah, it pays better than the hay that they were growing on there. The old air engine you have in the museum is operated. I've never seen one like it. What is an air engine? Compressor? I have an old compressor from 1905. It's got a Buddha gasoline motor in this compressor. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. We got actually another motor that runs that's really cool. It's a 5.5 horsepower Hornsby Ruston engine, and started cranking up 1 cylinder. That's pretty cool. People like that. Small, square, or round ones. I just have round bales. There's small round bales, so they're 4x4. They're like 500-pound bales. So the advantage of that is you can stick 2 of those in a pickup, and you can roll them around, whatever. And if you got a pitchfork, you can pry them apart and feed them to your horse or whatever. They don't do good outside. So when we were up north and we had the ranch up there, we had like 1,800-pound bales, but they're just hard as a rock. The old engine that you have that vents the exhaust outside, yeah, that's the 4.5 horsepower Ruston engine. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, you fire it up and it goes to 500 RPM, and then you shut the fuel off and it'll run for like about a minute and a half after that, just from the inertia from the big flywheels. And then you give the fuel up, and when it's almost stopped, then it'll fire back up, and away it goes again. So it's a cool engine. They use those in tanks quite a bit back in the old days, and in ships too. So, Frank, you need a damn mine cap. That'd be the coolest thing. I'd love to have mine cap. No, I don't have a Massey Ferguson. I have a John Deere, and I don't really like it. I like the New Holland tractors ahead better, but whatever, it does the job. So we're using our sawmill now. So we got pallet forks for it, and we can use it to move logs around and lumber and stuff. And we're cutting all these timbers and stuff. So we got a lot of timbers to cut for our mine. So we need timbers for the railway that comes out, and then the ore bins and all that other kind of stuff. There's a really cool John Deere hit and miss engine I want to buy off this guy, but he won't sell it to me. Just a little tiny, must be about a 3 horsepower. It runs a water pump. The hit and miss is cool. So people think my engine is a hit and miss, but it's not. So what a hit and miss does, it's governed for a certain RPM. So it'll be governed for like 500 RPM. So when you get the motor fired up, if the RPM drops below 500, it'll fire. If it's above that, it doesn't fire. So if it's not doing nothing, just sitting there running, it'll maybe only fire every 3-4 revolutions. But if you're working it hard, it'll fire on every revolution. It's kind of cool. So it's governed to run at a certain amount of revolutions. It fires when it gets below that, and it doesn't fire if it's above that. It's pretty cool. Love watching your episodes. Sharon's a great woman for supporting you. What a great team. Well, thank you, and she appreciates that too. Do you still have used the Rotex? Well, it's on that power parachute, so can't wait. It's a Wood-Mizer sawmill, so it is the LT35. So it's a hydraulic version, so it'll flip the logs up there and roll them around and do everything. It's pretty cool. I had lots of, I never really thought I wanted a bandsaw because they're kind of slow. I've had big sawmills, like a 48-inch circular rigs and stuff we cut railway ties on years ago. But the band mill's cool if you're not trying to make any money, you're just trying to piss around for yourself and do it. It does a nice job, but it's slow. Where is Sharon hiding today? She's up in Golden. She's up there visiting her mom, and her kids are there, and they're spending the weekend hanging out there. So. I need a sawmill too. I want an old circular mill. Yeah, they're pretty amazing. So that's 50s technology, but I've had 4 circular mills. So we cut lots of railway ties with them, which it works pretty good. They're fast, and the nice thing is you can cut through rocks and all that kind of stuff. They're pretty tough. Okay, so when you see the package Linda's dropping off, on Monday you're gonna shit, he says. You can put shit on this channel. I mean, cool, looking forward to it, Ron. Sharon should sell her pictures. That's how I kind of told her, because she's got the merch site, and she should do that, but she hasn't yet so far. What, not drinking old stock? Oh, just drinking from a glass. Oh, I'm drinking old stock. Yeah, no, I pour it in a glass. But I like drinking out of a glass. Classy. Yeah, classy. Fence and rock staples. Yeah, you could, rocks and staples, yeah, you can go through them. The bad thing about a circular saw, if you hit a railway spike or something, it'll shatter the blade and it might kill you, so that's not good. So next week we are going to go into the Slocan area. We're going to show you some high altitude mines there. Why don't you just drive to Montana and drive across the border in a farmer's field? Well, the problem is in the States they got these jails that are run by sheriffs and a bunch of corrupt people, and they throw you in there and use you for a field laborer. You need a new mic. It's 10 years old. I don't know. It's the mic that came with the computer, and I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere in the computer. Very staticky. Well, I guess I could. No, I probably couldn't. I could maybe take my other mic and plug it in here. I don't know where I'd do it. How's your old friend from the video, Krogstead? Well, that's a good question. Kevin is up in Antioch, and he's the mine manager now. So he's the chief up there running Antioch. So we'd like to go up there and visit him. We would be like our own hotel up in Antioch, but difficult place to get to. So, hey Frank, is the mine expert not a computer expert? Yeah. Well, you can only do so many things well at once. It's true, our sheriffs don't need around. Very crackly. My voice is old and crackly is what it is. Yeah. So I hope you guys are all having a good summer. Yeah, it's been a really strange year this year. Just We don't have any forest fires around here, but there was so much smoke we had like less than a mile of visibility this morning. There's no fires right around here, but it's just been so dry this year and there's fires everywhere. Ever going to visit Cerro Gordo? Well, yeah, eventually. So, but that's kind of up to your president. He's not letting Canadians into America across the land border. So when he opens the border up, we can go to Cerro Gordo. Yeah. No, we've heard that. You know, and the thing is with this format, you got like 100 people or something online at a particular time, but they're only on for 5 or 10 minutes at a time. In southern BC, where's decent lodging? Well, southern BC is a big place. My basement's good. You just go on, where do you go? Go online and find whatever on there. They should let vaccinated Canadians in and vice versa. Well, that's what I think too. That's why we got vaccinated. One of the reasons, but yeah. What's COVID and the weather like in this area? The weather is hot. We haven't had hardly any rain all year. Got lots of fires burning. COVID, it was just about down on nothing, but with this Delta variant, and now nobody's wearing masks or anything, so the people that refuse to get vaccinated is spreading like wildfire amongst them, so now COVID's way up. You can sure tell which folks have not listened to LP Records. How's your boy? I don't know. I haven't chatted with him for a while. Have you got an address to send parcel? Yeah, I can type it here for you if you like. 56.7. Oh, there it is. Okay. I can tell you what it is, but it's probably better if I type it. There we go. It's 5675 Kenmore Road, Grand Forks, BC. VOH Victor 0 Hotel 1 Golf 0. Is that it? Yep. There you go. Static noise, dang kids. Yeah, Ron stayed in the basement all the time. We never go down there. There's like 3 bedrooms down there. And I didn't know you rode bikes too. I have a 909 Heritage bought, but I haven't rode bikes for years. I had one, but I work nights and sometimes fall asleep on my nights with your videos on the TV. Give me crazy mind-exploring dreams. Okay, everyone show up at Frank's house tonight. If you do, you better bring beer and pizza. That's admission. If you have beer and pizza, you can stay here. Your new place is going to have room for a few RVs or tents to park. Yeah, that's what we'd like to do. Yeah, have some. We got room for RVs here too, tents. We got 25 acres here. No one's ever actually done that, but yeah, we could. Hey Frank, what's your cell phone number? I ain't telling you my SIN number, but my cell phone number is, you could find out if you're smart. Oh, well, that's bad, eh? 444-444-0183. That's my cell phone number. I ain't telling you my SIN number. I've never sinned. Party at Frank's, bring booze and food. Hey, Sharon's gone. Oh, you can come when she's here. She's cool. How many paranormal experience in minds have you had? Well, that's like asking somebody, when you look in the mirror in the morning, do you say to yourself, I'm not going to be a nut job today? If you're seeing things in minds, there's enough dangers in minds, you don't have to make up any. What's new, Frank and Sharon? We're not new, we're old. Any plans to revisit anyone? Well, is that a trick question? International call. Well, that depends on where you live, see? If you live in this town, it's a local call. That's like, I had my birthday the day before yesterday. In case you're wondering, I'm 59 now. So, is that old? Well, it depends on how old you are. If you're younger than that, it's old. If you're older than that, it's young. If you're seeing something supernatural in a mind, check your air monitor. Yeah, that's a good. People say, "Oh, why do you think you would see ghosts in a mine?" Well, people could have died there. Well, if you go to a hospital or an old folks' home, probably a lot more people died there. Do you see ghosts there? The fact is, it's just a creepy place. It's dark and you're not comfortable there, so your mind starts playing tricks on you. So it's mostly mental, right? Well, pretty much all mental. When will we see the new mine you just bought? Well, if you're really curious about it, you go back on my videos. I think the 5th video I ever done, this one is called The Yankee Boy. That's the mine that I just bought. So we got lots more video. We can show you a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's the mine. So you can have a quick look at it if you want. People see ghosts in a mine for YouTube clickbait. Yeah, that's true. Another great coffee cup idea. So going to the French mine tomorrow. I've been there twice before, but anything you recommend, I'd check out. It's kind of a cool mine. There's nothing really all that spectacular about it. So you guys want to hear a story that's a pretty good story. This is one of my favorite stories. I tell this story to everyone that comes to my museum. And it comes out of a book called The Sullivan Mine, The Greatest Miners in the World. And so this guy in here, so the most prestigious job in this Sullivan Mine was a really cool mine. It operated for over 100 years, a huge mine. They had hot muck in there, which is like lava in there. So here's the story. So this guy, the most prestigious job in this mine is a high scaler. And so what high scalers do is they have huge stopes in these mines, and they have ladders, and they go up there with the scaling bar, and they knock off all the loose material from blasting and stuff like that, so it doesn't fall on people in the trains and stuff. So the problem is some of these stopes are up to 60 feet tall, 80 feet tall, and even 100 feet tall. So they only have 20-foot ladders. So they got to put the ladders, they got to put them together, and they lash them together with ropes, and they tie them up there and put them way up there. It was very dangerous because these guys got these ladders, they tie them all together, put them up there, they got all these ropes, it's like a circus thing. And so they climb way up at the top of these big stopes, and they knock these big rocks and big slabs of rock that are loose on the back down. And the reason it's very dangerous is because you got all these ropes. If one of them big slabs of rock comes down, hits one of them ropes, the whole thing comes down and you're dead, right? Because you're falling down, right? So this guy's a high scaler, and he's telling the story in the bar, and he says, I fell off of a 100-foot ladder. And the guy says, well, last week. He says, well, what happened to you? He says, nothing. I wasn't even hurt. He says, well, how's that possible? He says, well, I was on the bottom step when I fell. Yeah. Audio terrible, mate. Oh, there's nothing I can do about it. If you can't hear it, just shut it off. I guess, I don't know. There's nothing more I can do about it. Yeah, that's the brain cells dying. Yeah, could be. It seems to bother some people more than others, so I don't know what to say about it. I tried to start a live broadcast on the other one. Didn't work. So, are miners' cats real? What about regions they live? Absolutely. So if you look at a bunch of my old videos I did of the Gly, we've seen them in a mine. They're also ring-tailed cats. They are in Arizona. There's lots in Arizona. They're actually the national mammal of Arizona. So they're really cool. The cutest thing you ever see. They're like a chihuahua. They got like a cute little face, big eyes, and they're pretty friendly. What's the biggest scare you ever had in a mine? Well, it's probably just being on ropes, and being on ropes sometimes, and there's debris falling on you and stuff can be a little scary. If you grew up in the areas, the audio is pretty sweet. Looking forward to your Cerro Gordo adventure. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, and the thing is, I guess Brent's a pretty busy guy, and he doesn't answer comments and stuff on there. But I can't believe that they would use that old, like the Union mine's pretty cool. I mean, we've been in way bigger mines that were cool, but it's all right. But it's got that old hoist, which is really neat. I don't know why they would use that hoist. Just so slow going down there. And he says, like, it takes 5 people to run the hoist. Why not just go up down the ladder? They got a manway right beside there. Looks like a good ladder. If the ladder's not good shape, fix it. Why not? What's the big deal? You go up and down the ladder. It's only like 900 feet to the bottom. So why wouldn't they just go on ropes, put your curl on or whatever and go up and down the ladder? I don't get it. But so he says he can't get in all these levels because he doesn't have 5 guys to run the hoist. So I don't get it. So, and I've talked to him on the phone a bunch of times, and emailing back and forth, but there's no substitute to actually talking to someone face to face. The communications, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Please give Ghost Town Living some safety advice. No, actually, I have. So we talked a lot about different things. So, he's getting the speed. I mean, you don't learn this stuff overnight. The worst guy was that HD Sparks or something with there. I think. Oh, I don't know. I mean, they took chances like they should never take. But whatever, he's still alive. So, yeah. Slabbers were fearless. Slabbers, yeah, that's high skillers, right? In the Monster Mega Mine, have you explored all the tunnels to the giant shaft featured on the last videos? Oh, not even close. It just goes on and on, and it takes a lot of time. You go into a lot of places that just dead end that are collapsed and stuff. There's a lot more mine to explore there, but very difficult. Cat Chaser, give me $2. Well, thank you, sir. Especially after I insulted cats, I said I don't like cats. Well, Cat Chaser, so yeah, no, you don't like cats. Or you wouldn't chase them. Have you watched any of the old films of Fred Dibna? Yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. He's dead now, so yeah. Have you learned any good knots for your climbing ropes? Not really. I mean, we just use like half hitches. The main thing, we just wrap something around a couple times and put a bunch of half hitches, but all I ever do. The thing about knots, when I was in search and rescue and all that, they teach you these knots, 2 days later you can't remember them. So I've got terrible memory for knots. Have you been to Colorado? I have not been to Colorado, and the main reason is because it's really high altitude. So we're kind of stuck here in the summertime because we're farming, and in the wintertime there's so much snow you can't find anything. So can't tie knots, tie lots. Yeah. Yeah, I like Dibna. Yeah, he was a pretty crazy mofo. That's what it was. Crazy mofo. Cripple Creek got tons of what? Rocks? Knots. Lots of mines, I'm sure. There's lots of places in America that got mines. And it's kind of sad and alarming at how fast, they're filling them in and wrecking them and stuff. And I kind of admire, the Americans and stuff, and just how many people there are down there. They're passionate about preserving mines and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot more stuff in Canada. In Canada, they're just trying to kind of ignore them and forget that part of our history. They're more concerned about other parts of our history, and the mining there's not many people talking about it. And I'm kind of happy to be kind of turn that around a little bit, because we've got a lot of people coming to our town and stuff. So, we've seen your videos and we explored this mine and checked this out, and they're interested in it. So, and I kind of take credit for a little bit of that. So, which makes it kind of, some of this stuff's kind of worthwhile, what we're doing. Are there any genes in the Cerro Gordo Union mines? So Brent, he's gone to that mine, but it's been very heavily explored. There isn't a whole bunch of places that haven't been explored. And a guy that I know that's kind of an expert in genes and stuff, and the guy before that, they've been like in through a lot of that mine. They got a lot of artifacts out of there. So there's been quite a few people in there. So it would be very unlikely that they would find more genes in there. They might, I don't know. Wow, Icarus Effect has sent me $50. That's pretty awesome. Thanks, man. I don't think anyone's ever sent me $50, but I appreciate it. It'll buy a lot of beer. Yeah, no, and I really appreciate the support that we get from this channel. But really the major, people give us some money here and there, but most of the money we get is just from people watching our videos. It kind of goes up and down, but the very best times they get a lot of views, we're getting almost close to 5,000. We never got 5,000, but close to that a month almost, eh? So, it sounds like a lot of money, but cameras we went through about half a dozen cameras and half a dozen drones. They're a couple thousand a piece, and the ropes and equipment and driving around and buying side by sides. I'm not complaining about it. We've put a lot of our own money into it, but it's nice when you get some money out of that too. And we've spent a lot of money buying artifacts for a museum. I mean, people complain about us taking stuff from underground, but we've bought all kinds of artifacts from people that got them out of mines on eBay and all that. And I don't mind paying for it. I mean, we're paying for someone's labor that's taken something out of it and saved it. So, yeah. So, you're on my list next to Bill Barley for rejuvenating my southern BC history interest. Well, Bill Barley was actually from the same town we're at, from Grand Forks. So, yeah, it was just a tremendous resource. And Bill Barley knew a lot of the names, the stories of the interesting characters and stuff that fired up the mines and all that. And then he had a really good memory for all these names and stuff. For my memory for names is like poor at best. Why are G's discarded mines? Well, they're not. Back in the old days, when they first had Levi's jeans and stuff like that, they were like they were like coveralls they use today. So the miners would typically come to work in their street clothes, and the mines would actually own the jeans. So they come there, put the jeans on top of their street clothes, go to work, and then take the jeans off. So when people say, "Oh, how come there's jeans in the mine? Are they all gay or they left home naked or whatever?" No, they put them over top of the coveralls. They put them on top of their work clothes. So they're not discarded. They just wear them over top of that. The other thing is sometimes if they do have old clothes and rags and stuff like that, they use them for sometimes putting in different areas on false floors and stuff to keep the material from falling out of it. All right, beer, sitting on the couch doing the same, my friend, listening to the chat. Bourbon and a steak. You must be drunk because you can't spell steak. Steak is S-T-E-A-K. Jeans weren't street clothing back then, no. And actually, so the interesting story is, Levi's, when he first started making jeans, so they had these canvas tents that they had in back in the mid 1800s. They were tougher than hell. So they thought, why don't we make pants out of these canvas tents? They're tougher than hell. So the first jeans that Levi's made were out of white canvas, and they started making jeans and most people think they were for cowboys and all that. They weren't. They were for miners. They made jeans. They were work clothes for miners, but like I say, they were used for coveralls. They didn't just wear them just like that. And then as time went by, and the other thing is you had to order them. You didn't just show up at a store and buy them. They were just, you had to order them. They were kind of custom made, I guess. And they were expensive back then too. So, but the mines bought them for the miners back in the 1800s. You ever thought about making the Mega Monster mine more accessible for yourself? Maybe use a winch to lower yourself down and save a lot of energy. Well, the thing about the Mega Monster mine is actually it's for mines that are adjacent to each other, and they're connecting. So you got 97 kilometers of tunnels connecting all this other. So we go down one part and we walk a long ways, and we go down another little part, we walk a long ways, go another part. So you got all these different things. So we're going into the shaft that you see that goes like straight down like a long ways. You're traveling 2.5 hours to get there. So to have more equipment to lower yourself down that part really makes no sense. It's not like one big long incline. So what's the coldest mine you're in, and what's the hottest mine? Well, the hottest mines are in Mexico and Arizona, where the average outside temperature is hotter. So a mine's basically the temperature of the mines is kind of the average temperature year round of the outside. So the warmer the climate, the warmer it is. So for the south you go, it's hotter there. And the coldest mines would be the high altitude mines in Canada, probably, in Alaska and those kind of places. High altitude mines where the average temperature is pretty cold. Sears catalog, mail order jeans. Ever notice the amount of mentally deficient people watching YouTube? Well, so the thing with the internet is that at one time, the people that you listen to that you were in books or on TV and stuff were kind of intelligent people. And so what's happening now is that anyone has got a voice on the internet. So you have to be able to kind of filter this stuff out. It says chat is disconnected. Well, that can't be good. Is that really true? You guys can't hear me anymore? Connected. Said I was disconnected, now it reconnected. Have you ever had an incident down a mine where your torch failed? That happens all the time. But we never just take one torch. You have at least 4 or 5 sources of light. It's probably one of the worst things that could happen is you could be underground with no light. I got a big thumbs up, not savvy on the typing. Was a mining millwright for 30 years. I do better with a hammer. Well, thank God for a spell check. My spelling is getting worse every year. I can hear you fine. Yeah, it just said that the broadcast is disconnected, attempting to reconnect it, so whatever, so let it go. Friggin' computers. Yeah. So, coming up in the next little while, you're going to see some high altitude mines that we went into around the Slocan area, the kind of cool mines. And then we're probably going to start showing you a bunch of stuff that we're doing up at our mine, the Yankee Boy. If you're kind of curious about what's there, if you go back to episode 5, if you look back on our channel in our the 5th video where we did it, you can have a quick look at the Yankee Boy. It doesn't look all that impressive, but we're doing lots of kind of stuff there, and you'd probably enjoy it. So that's the mine that we bought. So we don't own the mineral rights to it. We're not gonna bullshit people about how we're gonna get rich and all this gold and all this other malarkey that people do to get views and stuff. But what I'm interested in, which I've always been interested in, is sharing the passion and the history and the machines and all that kind of stuff about how mining was done. So. Any income from the mine yet? Yeah, we made YouTube revenue. That's the only income that I'd ever make from any mine. Have the fires uncovered some unknown mines? Probably. And that's what the miners, prospectors did back in the old days. They used to set forest fires so they could find these rock outcrops easier. So that was a very old trick. So yeah, forest fires are good. A good way for uncovering mineral deposits and old mines. Do you think you'll ever return to the mega monster mine? I think I will, just not with Sharon and not alone. So we've got some guys that have been on the show that are competent explorers, and maybe we'll meet people in the future that have a lot of rope climbing experience, their own equipment, that would would go in there. The problem is we've got a lot of people that say, well, they want to come into mines, but they're not qualified to do that, so it just causes more problems. Was it difficult to get the owners to sell you the land over the Yankee boy? Okay, well, so there's two separate things. There's someone that has the rights to the minerals over the Yankee boy. That's actually the Yankee girl, the Yankee boy and the Yankee girl. But he's died. There's no money in the minerals anyhow. So the person that had the surface rights or the land was actually a company that bought 100 acres that the mine was over. They logged it off and split it into 3 parcels, and they're selling me the parcel with the mine on it. Yeah, I actually found a pair was left in an attic in Calco Mountain when I was a young man. Heavy canvas, lots of stopes, and Swiss cheese. Been watching for years, love the content. Keep it up. Thank you, and appreciate the support. You ever went into a mine with candles or old school means? We did go in with a carbide lamp. Went in with a carbide lamp and tried it way back in the Remac. If you look back on our old ones, very little light. But the thing is, I guess if you're underground and you're operating in a small amount of light, your eyes get used to the small amount of light. Definitely not going to be filming. It's very challenging filming underground. You need a lot of light. The reason being is a camera, like even the camera that we have that has a good external light source and works good in low light, it typically likes to shoot for a good quality picture about 60 frames per second. But the way video cameras work is if that starts getting darker, it slows down the frames per second. So you're not going to notice the picture getting darker, but when you move the camera, then it gets blurry because it's shooting way less pictures per second. So that's why it makes it very challenging to shoot underground, as well as the stabilization, and it's very hard on cameras because of the moisture and the dust destroys cameras, and you send them to a shop, get them fixed, and there's nothing left of it. So you should try to make a trip down to California and explore Cerro Gordo. Well, you should tell your president to open the borders so Canadians could go to the United States and explore in California. What does smoke from a carbide lamp smell like? So what it is it's acetylene. So if you ever smell the acetylene, you've got a acetylene torch, just turn it on, pure acetylene, you got that black stuff out there, that's exactly what it is. So carbide makes acetylene gas, so that's what it is. Is it possible to climb up a shaft? People do climb up mountain cliffs using ropes. It is. The best way to do it, and I'm not the world expert on rock climbing by any stretch of the imagination, is if there's like an airline or something going up a shaft, and then you can just tie yourself to the airline as you go up. Or the other thing is if there's ladders or something like that, you don't want to trust them going up. So you just if you have something solid, you can tie yourself up as you go up. The problem is, if you tie yourself up, say every 10 feet, and you're up at the end of the 10 feet, and you fell, it'd be a 20-foot drop before you hit that rope, which would be pretty nasty. So it's difficult. So we try not. Depends on the shaft, right? So we're talking, when you say shaft, I'm thinking of a straight vertical shaft, which is difficult. If you're an incline shaft, obviously less the incline, that's a lot easier. So. Okay. Hey Frank, you ever had a tour of an active mine? It's really hard to get anyone that has an active mine to take you underground. I'd have to say no. When I was down in Mexico, there was a mill outside of a mine, so they let us film the mill a little bit. And we were up in the Trout Lake area, and there were some miners that took us underground and showed us their exploration. But Mexico is the only place. So we went in where they were mining old school with donkeys and Hilti guns and stuff. That would be the only real active mine, but not like a modern active mine. No. Is Sharon fond of dogs? Not Not especially. Her daughter's got some dogs, and she had them in her house and stuff. She doesn't hate dogs, but she doesn't have any dogs. I saw a video of a guy in South Africa with a gold mine 2 miles deep. It'll be very hot down there, so yeah. And very risky because the pressures, as you get further underground, the pressure of the rock is just tremendous. Because you got all that weight above you that's pushing down on it. So. Appears that the southern border is open 24/7 for essential travel, so truckers and stuff that are hauling goods back and forth, they can, but not for leisurely travel. You can fly down there, but it doesn't do you much good if you're going exploring. I don't understand why they would open it to people that could fly down, but you couldn't drive down. It doesn't make any sense to me. But what's the sketchiest situation you've got yourself in an old mine? Well, I've never really been injured or hurt or anything, so yeah, sometimes you look at it and you think really unstable rock and stuff, but luckily nothing ever happens. So. I loved watching your doggy. Well, it caused a lot of problems. The dog doesn't have the common sense that people have in the mine. Where if you're going along and it's dark, they'll run ahead further than they can see, which just causes problems, and they don't have the judgment. The dog will stand right on top of a cliff. He doesn't think about falling off, or if you've got a false floor or some rotten timber or something like that, you look at it and say, well, that's a big hole going way down. I'm not gonna step on that rotten timber. The dog doesn't have that judgment, so ultimately that ends up being their downfall. Which is a good reason why you shouldn't take dogs in the mines. You're running an active farm for cattle, etc. I have like just 25.5 acres, and we're growing alfalfa on it, so we just cut hay and sell hay on it. I had a couple thousand acres up north, so it's just like a little hobby farm here. So, yeah, Frank forgot to tie a knot and a rope one time, and he went through as the sender fell like 5 feet. What it was is I tied the rope on there, and I put the sender on the wrong thing. Like I didn't tie it right at the very end. It was kind of in the middle, and then I fell through it. So that's what happened. But yeah, it was. Have you ever fallen through a false floor? I did. It was only about 8 feet down, and I fell in some mud. It was in one of the mines up at Ainsworth. It kind of hurt. It splattered in the mud and landed on my back, but I knew it wasn't very far down there, and I took a calculated risk, and I lost. Monster Mine series was great. Well, thanks, and to me, it's probably the most impressive and the most dangerous, and we haven't really seen a lot of really, really cool stuff in there as far as artifacts. We've seen lots of artifacts and all kinds of stuff, but I get really excited about going down there and see what's around that next corner. It's so huge in the history of it. And unfortunately, I haven't told you guys what it's called. I mean, I tell people that personally, but I don't like to put it on YouTube because the company that has it is not going to be happy if we're there, and they got expensive lawyers. If you tried encouraging viewers to go into your back catalog to check out your older videos, well, that's their choice, I guess. Like so, we got 250 videos. We've been doing this for 6 years, so if you like the videos, you can see more if you like. The bears like mine tunnels, not that I know of. No. We saw a tunnel one time. There was a bear. Looked like it was bedded down there sometime, but we never ran into any bears underground. Hey Frank, still enjoying the videos and sharing with you. Are you saying you're going back to Antioch? Maybe sometime. Do you watch Steve Willis? I never heard of him. You ever get cut by metals in the mines? I get cut by all kinds of stuff all the time. I guess I have a good immune system. It doesn't bother me. Tell Sharon, I'm a country boy. Tell Sharon we appreciate you being a sport and going back in. Thanks, and I appreciate all her hard work and dedication to what we're doing also. Did the old miners ever have to worry about carbon monoxide building up in the mines from constantly using their lamps? Not from the lamps. If you have engines running underground with exhaust close to that, but not from the lamps, no. Have you thought of wearing a wet or dry suit while exploring? There's a brisk suits under clothes. The problem is always with the weight, right? So if you got a little bit of the weight, it's a lot of work hauling stuff down and back in the mines. So you try to go as light as you can. I saw one of your videos and immediately watched all the previous ones. Take care, be safe. Have you updated your tetanus shot once every 10 years? I don't know. I think it's something that people get concerned about. I don't know. Probably not. No, like I say, I get cut up and scratched and all the time and stuff. I think my immune system's in probably pretty good shape. Yeah. So, I'd like to thank all you guys for all your questions. So, we enjoy kind of chatting with you, and we'll try to see any fish wading through the mines. No, you never see that. We'll try to do another live stream and do a few more when Sharon gets back. And I'm sorry if we're annoying you with all these. When we try to do a live stream on the other computer and it doesn't work and all that, probably pisses a lot of people off. I've seen every single one of your videos. Well, if you got vaccinated, I have. I got vaccinated as soon as you possibly could. So, if you ever have to go to a bathroom in the mine, yes, all the time. And so do the miners, because you see the bathrooms in the mines. So. All right, guys. So it's been about an hour and a half here. I've been babbling on here, so we really appreciate all your support, and we've got lots of cool stuff coming up, and we'll see you again soon. So take care, guys. Have a good day.